And right now, our next guest, Congressman Greg Murphy, Republican of North Carolina. He's a doctor and also a member of the House Ways and Means Committee with a lot of important issues on the docket. Congressman Murphy, always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely.
You know, this is an interesting week as we see Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with some of the leaders, and also the world is watching what comes out of these statements, and the Arab world indeed reacting in addition to U.S. media. Your thoughts on where we are in Donald Trump's vision for Gaza and how it might actually, at least part of that, perhaps move forward?
Yeah, you know, Bianca, the world is seeing a tragic place in Gaza. For the president to kind of pull this out, I think surprised a lot of us. That said, you know, what have they done in the last 30, 40, 50, 100 years to help the folks in that area, and how best to survive the terrible conditions and the hatred that goes on in that region? Is that what's really going to happen? Is it going to be a Riviera? Most likely not. But it brings forth the question of what do we do with Gaza now that we've tried to eliminate a horrible, horrible terrorist group in that area of Hamas and Hezbollah up north. So we'll see what happens. You know, we need to care about the people. We need to care about extinguishing the terrorists that are there. And we'll see what the president has in store.
It's been quite a week. I want to talk a little bit about the week that began with the tariffs, and Mexico and Canada have theirs on pause after really acquiescing very quickly to Donald Trump and strengthening the border. And you've praised the president on a lot of this. I want to talk about a bill you have now introduced to end a loophole. Tell us about this measure and why it's so important for the conversation.
Yeah, you know, so China, we know China has been a trade cheat forever. And the last administration, the last 4 years, did absolutely nothing on trade in the America economy. And so what we're doing now is trying to stop China from cheating. They're getting around our tariff laws by there's an $800 limit de minimis of being able to ship things directly from China, if it's under $800 in value, to the consumer in the U.S. Well, we're stopping that completely. You know, I had a bill to do that last year. I'm very thankful the president actually put it in an executive order. We'll have to codify it that says you can't cheat. China can't cheat anymore. And they did this so much to the detriment of American producers, American manufacturers. And we're stopping it. You know, the president is very, very clear that we don't need to do this anymore. And we're going to stop it. It's great. I'm very glad the president put an EO in.
Fascinating. And we know also big moves in Panama this week when it pulled out of the Silk Belt and Road Initiative with Marco Rubio. Tomorrow, Donald Trump will speak to the president of Panama at 3:30. So more to come. And China may not be happy with, of course, the new president's tough stance and bills like yours. I'd like to get your reaction to some of the comments this morning. Donald Trump, among others, speaking at the National Prayer Breakfast, which you attended. Let's play a little bit of his comments today.
Every nation with big dreams and great ambition has recognized that there is no recourse more precious than the faith in the hearts of our people.
You know, we just talked about Israel and praying for the peace in the Middle East and just the power of prayer and what Donald Trump has lived through, you know, attempted assassinations, Congressman. Your reflection on this morning on such an important event every year, but with Donald Trump there speaking, indeed, takes on more significance.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, this is a wonderful, wonderful event of unity of people of all faiths to come together and realize how critical faith is in our God, informing what we do on a daily basis, how we interact with other individuals, how we formulate our thoughts. And the president shared with him, you know, what happened in the assassination attempt. And he reflected on really how that has changed him. He feels destined that he is here to lead, and this is God's plan. It was a wonderful, wonderful event. Very sorry that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries decided to skip the event. A lot of other Democrats were there. And so it was very, very important.
Well, we know USAID, which is being dismantled, was funding some of the atheist programs. Your reaction to what's been going on there and how the left and some are saying this is the worst thing ever. And now they're going after, you know, Elon Musk trying to, you know, create sort of this narrative when really there's been no oversight, there's been no audit, and the stuff that taxpayer dollars are being used for is really, really outrageous, Congressman.
Yeah, Bianca, I've done a lot of mission work around the world, a lot in Haiti and in Central America and some of the other places. And the aid that we bring in to these other countries is necessary. It's a goodwill gesture for the American people towards other countries. That said, it's time for the adults to get back in the room, look at the checkbooks, look at what has been run amok. And this is what's happening. We are funding all these ridiculous social justice programs around the world that have nothing to do with American interest or the people's interest. And so having Dad come back in and having the adults back in the room to look at the checkbook, I think it's wonderful. My Democratic colleagues, their heads are blowing up on all this other stuff because we're finding out the nonsense that's been going on. So I'm elated with all of this. So I think it's great.
I'm really tight on time, but just because you are on Ways and Means and these reconciliation bills so important, one bill, two bills, where do you think things stands for the structure of it? I know there's a lot of talks that are happening right now on the Hill how to advance President Trump's agenda.
Yeah, we're plowing ahead with one bill. I know Senator Graham is going to try to do things. I think that's unfortunate and distraction. We need everything done together. We've been working for 2 years now on reconciliation on tax package. I think, the president's convening literally at this moment with some other members of Congress to try to pull things together. We just get to a number. We get folks on the same page. Everybody's not going to get what they want, but we need to move forward. We need to restore the tax cuts, keep them in place to keep our economy growing, businesses growing, and employing people. Bottom line is, we got a lot of work to do and a needle to thread.
Congressman Greg Murphy, we appreciate you spending some time with us on all of these key issues unfolding today on the Hill. Thank you, sir.
All right. God bless. Thank you.